Señoras y señores, muy buenos días. Aquí en WLSHFM, Héctor Valdés acompañándole con el señor Rudy Hernández en su Café con Leche mañana de hoy, miércoles mitad de semana. Y en nuestra primera entrevista en la mañana de hoy tenemos la visita de uno de los abogados que forma parte del equipo de abogados de bufete de Mcdonald at Law. Hoy con nosotros, this morning with us, Richard de Francesco, one of the attorneys of Mcdonald at Law. Here to answer some questions that we have, and also if you have any question this morning, si usted tiene alguna pregunta, please give us a call to 295-7760, 295-7760. Hoy, educándonos, señoras y señores, en cuanto a lo que debemos o no hacer cuando desafortunadamente nos vemos envueltos en algún problema con algún accidente o herida personal. Good morning, Mr. Francesco. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here this morning. And first, does it make sense when somebody get some type of injury during the accident and the insurance company said that don't worry about it, we're going to pay for your injuries, and the person should look for an attorney or not? What we should do in that type of situation?
Sure. A lot of times, especially if the person who's at fault, it's clear they're at fault. Say it's someone rear ends you. There's no question that they're responsible. The insurance companies, they'll reach out to you and they'll want to try to settle your claim, but they'll want to try to settle it on their terms, not on your terms. So the issue is, can you get full, legal value for the injuries you've suffered? That's a consideration that you have to think about. The other thing is, when you've been injured, your focus needs to be on yourself. It needs to be on getting better, getting back to your health, getting back to your work, getting back to your family. So even if there's no question that who's responsible, sometimes you don't want that burden of trying to handle all of the work that goes into dealing with the insurance companies. Listen, for smaller cases, if you haven't missed time from work, maybe a couple doctor's visits, you're not that seriously injured, sure, you could work with the insurance company to handle that claim on your own. But there's also issues sometimes that come up that are separate from who's responsible. Issues of sometimes having to pay back medical expenses if you have health coverage, and those can be difficult and those issues can be complex. So even in a clear-cut case of liability, if it's a serious injury, a serious loss to you, you're going to want an attorney to advocate for you.
Very good. Señoras y señores, nuestra primera pregunta, y esta pregunta, señoras y señores, es muy importante hacerla y conocer la respuesta, es la de cuando uno se ve envuelto en un accidente e inmediatamente la compañía de seguros se pone en contacto con usted para decirle, no, mira, nosotros sabemos que usted no fue culpable de este accidente, vamos a arreglar con usted, no tiene que buscarse abogado, mucho menos. Pero hay algo interesante con esto. La compañía de seguro obviamente va a querer hacer arreglos con usted, pero a su conveniencia,
a favor de ellos.
Y a favor de ellos. Ellos son los que van a establecer cuál es el pago que le van a hacer a usted por sus daños sufridos, qué es lo que va a haber de remuneración o de lo que le tengan que dar a usted por las heridas sufridas en este accidente. Dice, es importante, cosas que debemos tomar en consideración, es importante de que cuando estamos firmando un arreglo como este, sin tener a nosotros al lado un abogado, estemos firmando algo que nos vaya a traer problemas después, Rudy, porque a veces se firman documentos en los cuales, ok, nosotros te vamos a dar esto, pero tú vas a ser responsable de pagar las facturas médicas, tú eres responsable de esto y mucho más. Hay que tener muchísimo cuidado. Dice que el licenciado, que si es un accidente menor en el cual usted no ha tenido que ir al médico, quizás sea conveniente usted pues hacer el arreglo con la con la compañía de seguros, pero siempre usted tiene que estar seguro de lo que está firmando y la intervención de un abogado, de acuerdo a él, y yo creo que en parte estoy de acuerdo, debe ser justa y necesaria. What type of damages can you recover from someone that has been injured in a car accident or on a accident?
Sure. If you've been injured, there's a couple categories of damages you can recover. You get your economic losses. That's your lost wages, and that's past lost wages, present and future. You also get your medical expenses, medical bills that you incur, whether it's something you pay out of your own pocket or if it's something that's paid on your behalf by a health insurance company. That's also, past, present, and future. Then the big damages, the big items are your non-economic damages, and that's your pain and suffering, which is, it's to compensate you, to try to make you whole for the physical pain you've endured and the mental anguish you've suffered as well. In addition to pain and suffering, you can also be compensated for embarrassment and humiliation that you experience as a result of your injury. You can also be compensated for loss of the ability to enjoy the pleasures of life, the things that you like to do, hobbies, spending time with your family. Wow. That's a big loss, and that is something that's compensable. And then also, obviously, if you've suffered a scar or disfigurement, that's compensable as well. So that's kind of what goes into the non-economic component of a damages award.
Bien, super, señoras y señores.
You don't think about
that. No, you don't think about that. Señoras y señores, la pregunta para nuestro abogado invitado es ¿qué tipo de daños usted puede recuperar de una compañía de seguro cuando usted no ha sido tratado fairly? ¿Cómo decimos?
Sí, equitativamente.
Ok. Las categorías son las siguientes: la económica, pasado, presente y futuro. Lo mismo con los biles o facturas médicas: presente, pasado y futuro, o futuro, presente y pasado, o pasado, presente y futuro. Debo decir, daño y sufrimiento que usted ha sufrido durante ese accidente, los problemas quizás mentales que le ha provocado a usted ese accidente, la humillación que usted quizás ha sufrido debido a la causa de este accidente, los impedimentos, que esto muy pocas personas quizás lo pensamos, los impedimentos que le pueda causar a usted este accidente de disfrutar de las cosas de la vida, por ejemplo, del pasar tiempo con su familia, de disfrutar de unos días de descanso. Debido a estas heridas, usted ha tenido que estar constantemente visitando médicos, visitando especialistas. Eso le está impidiendo a usted de alguna manera el poder disfrutar de tiempo con su familia, de tiempo con sus hijos, con su esposa, etcétera. Todo eso, señora y señores, está dentro de estas categorías que son compensadas, que deben ser compensadas cuando usted sufre un accidente. If I'm injured by someone, does my husband or wife also have a claim?
The answer is yes. The law recognizes the significance of marriage, and it recognizes how much spouses rely upon each other and depend upon each other. And when one spouse is injured, there's no question. The whole family suffers, but your spouse suffers as well. So a spouse can have a claim. It's called a claim for loss of consortium, and it's to compensate the spouse for the additional roles and duties within the family that spouse has to take on to compensate for the injury that the injured spouse has suffered.
Wow. Señoras y señores, la pregunta que le hemos hecho a nuestro invitado es: si usted sufre un accidente, caballero o dama, su esposo o esposa puede también reclamar, aunque no haya sido parte de este accidente directamente, Y la respuesta es sí. La esposa o esposo puede recibir compensación por este accidente que usted ha sufrido por varias razones. Do regular people have any power to stand up to insurance company when they are not being treated fairly?
Sure. We actually have a law in Pennsylvania. It's a consumer protection law, and it's our insurance bad faith statute, and it allows individuals, if you're a policyholder, you can bring a claim, a direct action against your insurance company if they have been unreasonable in the way they have handled your claim. It's a difficult. You have a higher standard you have to meet, but it is a very powerful law, and it gives the consumer extra remedies against the insurance company, and it's something that insurance companies do take very seriously.
Okay. Yeah, la pregunta es que si una persona, cualquiera de nosotros, tiene el poder de alguna manera pararse frente a una compañía de seguros y decirle que usted no ha sido tratado justamente. Si en Pensilvania hay una ley que también lo protege como consumidor, ¿ok? A usted, aparte de cualquier otra ley que hay en Pensilvania, esta ley le protege a usted y usted sí. En algunos casos puede ser quizás un poco difícil, pero esta ley le protege a usted, señoras y señores, y usted está bajo esto. This the next question is there any insurance that you can buy to protect yourself if you are injured in an accident?
Well, there is, and particularly with respect to auto accidents. We all know, we have our minimum mandatories that we have to buy in Pennsylvania, but there is additional coverages that you can buy. You can buy additional or more medical coverage. You're required to have $5,000 in Pennsylvania, but you can buy more than that, and that will protect you. I mean, obviously it only works if you're injured in an auto accident, but obviously anyone knows, your medical bills can get expensive and they can get high quickly. So buying additional medical coverage is something you can do to protect yourself. There's wage loss coverage you can buy on your auto policy that will cover you for time you miss from work due to injuries you suffered in a car accident. It's optional, but it is available to you. So that's another thing you can do. And then there's U coverage, we call it. It's underinsured and uninsured motorist coverage. And that's insurance that protects you if you're injured by someone who doesn't have enough coverage, enough insurance to fully compensate you.
So we need to be careful when we buy insurance for our car, because like you said, there's according to the law, it's $5,000 minimum for medical bills, right?
Yes, correct.
But $5,000 on medical bills could be just go in for 15 minutes and get out. Yeah. It's right there, $15,000 in bills.
If you have a hospitalization, yes, the bills can add up quickly. There's more people. You can buy $10,000, you can buy $50,000, you can buy $100,000. It's all up to ultimately your premium, what you're willing to pay. But it's out there. It is available.
What do you recommend?
I recommend at least $10,000. Because again, they pay those bills at a lower rate, so you get more coverage for your dollar. But I recommend $10,000.
Okay. Señoras y señores, hablando con nuestro abogado, esto es interesante cuando uno busca una cobertura de seguros, en algunas ocasiones por la cuestión económica o porque simplemente lo que quiere es estar en ley, uno opta por la cobertura quizás más baja, pero lo barato puede salirle caro. Lo que exige el gobierno por se es una cobertura por lo menos solo para biles médicos de $5,000, ¿ok? Pero $5,000, si una persona es hospitalizada en un día, ese bill puede llegar a $5,000. Y recuerde, la compañía de seguros le va a cubrir los $5,000. Todo lo que venga después de ahí lo tiene que pagar a usted si no tiene una cobertura que pueda absorber esos costos. El licenciado recomienda una cobertura en esta área. Obviamente usted puede escoger el seguro que usted desee, de $100,000, de $1,000,000, de lo que sea. Él recomienda una cobertura médica por lo menos de de $10,000 en el área médica. Recuerde que hay otros gastos también envueltos ahí. Usted tiene que estar seguro de lo que usted esté comprando, sea una cobertura que le vaya a ayudar a usted en caso de...
Y también recomienda velar que su póliza tenga bajo gente que no tiene seguro o muy poco seguro, y ellos son los culpables. Esta póliza en su caso le cubriría le compensaría por esa porción que no está pagando.
Eso es así, señoras y señores. Ya, las personas que están con muy poco seguro.
Hay lo que tienen mucho, pero es raro.
Es muy raro que esté así. Okay, talking about the slip and fails, what are the issues that people need to be aware when it comes to this type of accidents?
Sure. We hear about fall downs and we hear about slip and falls. That's a nice branding term. What it really is, it's a premises case, and it's a defect. So the issue is you really need to know, why did I fall? What caused me to fall? What's the defect of the property here that caused me to fall and injure myself? And then take a picture of it. Everyone's got their smartphones now. Take a picture of it, because that's going to be the critical evidence, is what is the defect that caused you to fall.
And this is the season.
Well, yes, between snow and ice, and yes, absolutely, there's no question. So there's always issues of how long was that ice on the ground, where did the ice come from? Those are the issues that if you get into a lawsuit, that we're going to have to start really drilling down on.
So we should take a picture of the surface while we fell, and what else?
Absolutely. Take a picture of the surface, look around, see if you can figure out what created that defect. Okay. Was it something that was just occurred over time due to neglect, or was it something, a downspout pointed in the wrong direction that's pushing water into a parking lot, or melting piles of snow that are then refreezing? You want to try to understand, where did this condition come from?
Okay, señoras y señores, esta temporada invernal se presta a que las personas sufran. Roy sabe de eso. He know about that. Slip and fell. He know about that. He
Sorry
had an accident a couple years ago. Señoras y señores, caídas, resbalones, no solamente en el hielo, en la nieve. Las personas, dueños de propiedades, entiéndase negocios, casas, tienen la responsabilidad de mantener. No es porque queremos hacerlo, ¿verdad, Rudy? No es porque queremos hacerlo, es porque tenemos que tener la responsabilidad, o somos responsables si alguien se cae frente a tu propiedad. Entienda usted que aquí rapidito la persona piensa en demandas, ¿ok? Bien importante, nos recomienda el abogado que debemos primeramente saber por qué sufrí esa caída, debido a qué sufrí esa caída, cuáles fueron los elementos que estaban presentes para que yo sufriera esa caída o ese resbalón y sufriera algún tipo de golpes. Muy importante, todos tenemos un teléfono que podemos tomar fotos. Okay. Bien importante, el abogado dice que en una corte es muy bueno que tengamos el teléfono, fotografías de la superficie donde usted resbaló, las razones por las cuales, si es hielo, por qué estaba ese hielo ahí, si era que estaba corriendo agua de una propiedad vecina a ese lugar, si fue porque el negocio o el dueño de ese no limpió, sea cual sea la razón. Esas fotos son muy importantes tenerlas, porque puede ayudarle a usted cuando usted va a hacer algún tipo de reclamación o va a demandar.
Y saque fotos que describan el sitio, no solamente la acera, porque esa acera se vea que está frente de dónde, para poder identificarlo. Usted puede coger cualquier acera en cualquier sitio.
O sea, estar seguro de que...
Y en corte no va...
Y si hay personas, quizás yo añadiría esto, si hay personas alrededor que estén ahí con usted. What type of communication should I expect from my attorney if I need to call an attorney and start some type of legal action?
Sure. You should expect close communications with your attorney. Your attorney should answer all your questions, should get back to you in a reasonable amount of time. It's important, an attorney, this is a customer service industry. We're here to help people, and we have to answer your questions. There's some lawyers who say, you got to understand if a lawyer's on trial, I'm handling that person's case and they're going to get my attention. But you have to remember, when your case comes up for trial, you're going to get all my attention as well. But yeah, you should expect your lawyer to return your calls, in a reasonable amount of time and answer all your questions.
Okay. Señoras y señores, hablando de la comunicación que debe existir entre un abogado y una persona que sufrió un accidente o que está comenzando alguna acción legal, dice el licenciado de Francesco que esta comunicación debe ser una comunicación muy cercana. El abogado debe contestar todas sus llamadas, debe contestar todas sus preguntas, debe estar pendiente a lo más mínimo de su caso, y es una comunicación que debe estar bien close. Todas sus llamadas, sobre todo. Now, there's a lot of people that have that on mind, that no, instead of look for an attorney here in Lancaster, I'm going to look for an attorney in Philadelphia because they think it's better. And this is not my question. It's on the list of questions that the Mcdonald law gives to us. It's better to have a local attorney or an attorney from Philadelphia.
Sure. There's a lot of attorney advertising out there on the internet, and there's a lot of attorneys that will come out and want to cover big areas of the state. I think ultimately, though, what you want to ask yourself is the lawyer I'm hiring to represent me, do they regularly practice where my case is going to be heard? Listen, obviously there's great lawyers in Philadelphia, but there's great lawyers here as well. And I think you want an attorney who knows the courts, knows the people, knows the judges, knows the other lawyers of where your case is going to be heard. I think that's really important.
Okay. And if I go to your office, I can ask you, hey, how many cases like this you see every year?
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
So the question to the client, if they ask you?
Yeah, how many types of cases of this do you regularly handle?
Okay.
Generally, how well do you do? I mean, every case is different. Facts and circumstances make each case unique. But absolutely, those are questions. If you're injured, you're looking for someone who's going to represent your interests, to the fullest extent.
Bien, señoras y señores, le pregunto a nuestro abogado, porque siempre tenemos el pensamiento de que los abogados aquí, hablábamos temprano, sí, tenemos eso en mente. Dice que hay muy buenos abogados en Filadelfia, así que decidimos eso. Hay muy buenos abogados en nuestra área. Dice nuestro abogado que una de las preguntas que debemos hacerle al abogado cuando decidimos que vea nuestro caso es preguntarle, ¿cuántos casos normalmente usted ve de este tipo en nuestra área? Eso le puede dar hasta una idea para que usted sepa si es un abogado que está bien experimentado en trabajar en casos como el suyo, cuántos casos ha ganado, etcétera. Eso es muy importante. If anybody have a question for you and want to schedule an appointment with you, what will be the phone number to call Attorney Richard de Francesco?
Sure, you can reach us at 431-3093.
341?
431.
431.
3093.
3093. 431-3093 es el número de teléfono de los abogados de Mcdonald Law. Y con nosotros estuvo en la mañana de hoy el abogado Richard de Francesco. Mr. de Francesco, thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you.
Hope to see you back soon.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
You too.